Hello, everyone. Welcome. I see Josh is here. Hi, Josh. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Thank you for joining. So, okay, great. Hi, everyone. We have some early joiners. Hassan has joined us about 10 minutes ago already. Welcome, Jacob. Welcome, everyone on the call, on the webinar. It's good to have you here. I'm going to spend the next minute or two to share the house rules, and then I would be handing the conversation over to Josh to continue. So again, welcome. It's really great to have you here. We're going to have more people join as the webinar progresses. So it's good. This is going to be an interactive session. You're going to hear quite a bit about Easy, how to buy on Easy. Hassan already had, some questions he'd asked, and I promised him that they would all be answered during this session. So during the Q&A session, I will bring up your question and all the other questions that might arise. So during the session, please feel free to use the Q&A button. When you look on your screen, there is a menu bar just below the screen that has mute, video, participants, chat, all of that. You're going to see a button called Q&A. So you can click on it and go type in your questions there. You can, raise your hand to draw attention to the question. Right after Josh is done with about 30 minutes of the conversation, we will go into the Q&A. So I would be, posing all your questions to Josh at that time. So please feel free to ask as many questions as you have. We would answer as many as we can on this during this webinar. So thank you once again for attending. I'm going to hand over the conversation to Josh. Josh is the CEO and co-founder of Easy Technologies. I'm going to let him just just take us through should I say, session of just learning and getting to find out how we can work better together. Hello again, Josh. Welcome.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much for the introduction.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Okay, great. Can you make me the host? I'll go ahead and turn my camera on.
Oh, yes, definitely. Just hold on.
All righty. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is Joshua and Zoe, co-founder and CEO of Easy. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We'd love to give you a tour of our platform, what we've built, how to make your life easier as a buyer purchasing these devices, and any suppliers or sellers on this call, how selling works as well. But first, I want to go through kind of like our background and story of how the business even started, and the origins of this idea. At Penn State University, got my degree in petroleum engineering. And so I actually worked in oil and gas for 3 years after graduating from college. During my time at Shell, I spent a lot of time in commodities trading, where we would see the price of oil fall based on supply versus demand, very similar to what we see in the used electronics market today. While I was at Shell, I started diving a bit into the used electronics market, buying these devices and reselling them. Primarily, I was buying from individuals and selling to companies overseas who would then resell them to end consumers. What I found was, as we got deeper and deeper into the space, we found that everyone used WhatsApp to transact. And because of this, there was lots of fraud in the space as people were impersonating each other. There wasn't a way of keeping wholesalers accountable for the quality of their products, or the speed at which they would deliver, or what they would do or handle your money. And so we saw that there were lots of issues within the electronics market because of how it transacted. It was very informally based. I had experience building platforms before in my previous startup. We had the idea that it would be much easier for people to transact in this electronics market, similar to how they do in a commodities driven market like oil and gas. So for those of you who aren't familiar with that market, oil is traded on commodity exchanges, so like stock exchanges, where people can put up the oil they want for sale. They assign a grading criteria to that oil, and then they're intermediaries that carry out the delivery and make sure that the oil is that it's paid for, right? So there's like a third party intermediary within the transaction. So that was like where the idea for Easy came. It was creating an exchange where people who were looking to buy electronics and people who were looking to sell could come together and transact, and making the delivery, logistics, and payments all streamlined between the seller and the buyer. So in 2020, Data and I started building out the platform. We got funding from Y Combinator startup, and eventually raised more money from other venture capitalist firms throughout the United States, and then also overseas in Japan and Africa. So we have been pushing this platform and making edits and tweaks to it to fit the needs of buyers. I'm really excited of the newest additions we've made to the platform, and I'd like to show that to you today. So just wanted to go through, I'll go ahead and share my screen, the platform and take you through what we've built, but then also how you can best leverage this platform as a buyer in this space. So this is the landing page that you come to when you open the website. What you'll see here is several deals that we have going on. What we built here on the top, because we wanted this to everyone that came onto the platform to know that the platform was built for their needs. We cater towards wholesalers, retail stores, hospitals, education systems, government agencies, etc. So for any company looking to purchase these devices, now I do want to stress that Easy is a B2B electronics market, and by that we mean business to business. So everything is sold on the platform in wholesale quantities. We don't deal with individual consumers. So we are similar to a eBay or an Amazon, but we only deal with wholesale quantities. And because of this, as a buyer and a seller, you should be able to find the quantities of devices you're looking for, but then sellers are also able to sell your inventory quickly because everyone that's coming to the platform is looking to buy in bulk. On the platform, and we'll talk about some of these integrations that we've announced shortly. On the platform, you can buy everything from an iPhone to graphics cards and parts from sellers all over the world. We have sellers based in Hong Kong, in Japan, in the United States, Canada, and we are now onboarding sellers in Dubai in Europe. Some of the features on the platform in which we'll dive into on this webinar is the ability to bid on listings. So the price that you see on the platform may not be the final price based off of what the seller is looking for. And we'll dive into that a bit deeper on this call. The next is our net purchasing terms. So buyers who apply for net purchasing can get their orders paid for and confirmed, but then pay back the actual balance later. So we have partners that we've set up on the platform that allow for this to happen, where you'll apply and based off of your credit score rating and your monthly revenue, they will allocate funds for you to use over a certain period of time. These terms go up to 120 days, but not everyone may be approved for this period of time. I do want to stress this is for US companies only, but we are looking into bringing these same types of net terms into other countries that we currently serve. They're free returns on your first order. So if you have any issues with devices, you are more than able to return them. And then we guarantee quality grading. So we do the grading ourselves. And I'll talk about that in a bit. Our industry certifications, we are R2, V3 certified, which means that, our business has the highest rating in this space in terms of quality assurance. We have gone through checks and have audits on how we go about our testing of devices, and so you can have quality assured that the devices that you purchase through our platform will always be tip-top quality. I'm going to dive a bit into how the platform works. So there are two ways of looking at our platform, either as a buyer or as a seller. And so I'll explain this on the buyer side. So coming onto this platform, you may be a bit confused about how it works, given that other companies in this space have more roundabout ways to make purchases. But at Easy, we want to make things as straightforward as possible. So on the platform, you'll come and I'll show you the shop page in a little bit. You'll come onto the platform, you'll go to the shop page, and let's say you want an iPhone 11. All you simply need to do is add those. If you like the price, you can add those devices to your cart, check out, and then we have different payment methods, which we'll go through later, that include wire payments, credit card or debit card, and then we're now even accepting payments in USTD and crypto payments. Once your payment is confirmed, the seller will be notified to ship the devices to our warehouse. So we physically receive the devices that are sold through the platform. And the reason why we do this is to make sure that both the buyer and the seller are secure in the transaction. We want to make sure that we have the devices and that we've made sure that they work well and that they're to the level that we have guaranteed. And that the seller knows that, you know, if they release the goods, that there is money being held for them. So once we do the quality assurance and check of those devices, we will then ship the devices directly to the buyer. On the seller side, there's a bit more of a lengthy process in signing up. We'll do the verification just to make sure the documents that you submitted are real. And then we do a test run with each seller on the platform to make sure that their quality expectations align with ours. So there's no miscommunication going forward as they're selling on the platform. So this is good for buyers to know and sellers. But whenever we bring on a seller on the platform, we do what we call as a grade mapping. As I'm sure you're all aware, most of the grades in the grading standards of each company is different, right? Someone's A, maybe someone's grade AB, someone's B, maybe someone's C. And so we need to figure out what that grading standard is and make sure that it aligns with ours. And so we will have the seller ship us devices physically before there is an order, and then we'll align our grades with theirs so they know how to list on our platform going forward. And then after all of the devices pass inspection, we then pay out the seller and ship the devices to the end buyer. We are selling to over 30 countries currently. We're shipping all over the world by partnering with logistics companies and freight forwarders. And you'll find that, you know, you'll find that through our platform, you'll be given access to many companies and individuals that you never would have before, all at the click of a button. So now I'm going to go into our grading process. On the platform, we have 7 grades. We are dealing with new electronics, so you will see those on the platform as well. And then these are our grading criteria. So the first is new seals, and that's pretty self-explanatory. It's a brand new device that has never been opened, and the seal is still intact. The next is open box. So these devices are still brand new. They are open. The seal has been broken. And they may have been activated. But if they are activated, they must be activated for less than 90 days. Most of the open box devices that are being sold on the platform still come with the manufacturer warranty, and some may even have prolonged warranties. So, for instance, there are new open box Apple products on the platform that have 24 months of the manufacturer's warranty still on them. These devices are still in perfect condition, and they'll have the original plastic on the screens. The next criteria is going into our used devices, so our pre-owned and or refurbished. Grade A1 is a flawless device, right? And this is pretty self-explanatory. There are no signs of use. It has passed all functionality tests, no scratches, no blemishes, nothing. It is a perfect, it looks brand new, but it is used. Grade A2 is very similar to our grade A1, but there may be some micro scratches on the phone. At first glance, the phones may appear flawless, but at closer inspection, you might find very few blemishes, maybe a scratch like on the back of the phone or on the Apple logo. But these phones are in excellent condition. Our grade, and I will say, like industry standard, our grade A2 is similar to most companies, what they'll call grade A. Um, that it does have like slight imperfections, but it is a very clean phone. Our grade B1 is akin to most companies' grade AB. It has a very clean screen, not or very either small or light scratches on the frame of the device. But it is a very clean phone, and the blemishes are hard to see. Grade B2 is where you start getting and experiencing scratches. Although the scratches are not very deep, or they're not a lot of them, there are scratches that you will be able to plainly see even on first. But these devices are still great for resale. And then we have our grade C category, where you will have lots of scratches that may be even deep, discoloration around the phone, heavy scratching on the frames, etc. So these are the lowest quality devices that we sell to the platform. I will mention that all the devices are fully functional. When purchasing on Easy, you are given a 30-day warranty on all devices, which allow you to return if there are any functionality issues whatsoever. We're also launching programs, especially for retail stores, where you can extend that warranty program beyond those 30 days. And for retail stores, we're implementing a special program where the device is sold to an end consumer. Right now, this is for the United States only, but when you sell the device to an end consumer, that is when the warranty period starts. So if your customer comes back with any issues or complaints, you are fully covered, even if you were to sell that device 30 days after you purchased it from Easy. So this way, you're given full coverage, whether you find an issue wrong with the phone that we may have missed, or if your customer finds it 5 days after they purchase it. So we want to make sure that people are purchasing with quality in mind. And so we're implementing lots of programs so that when you purchase, you know that your money is safe, and that you're covered in any situation. Next, I'll go to well, I guess before I jump, for the functionality testing, we use a software diagnostics tool, and we test everything on the phone. We test the display, the camera, the connectivity, the audio, the batteries, and really every other test. So you can make sure you can make sure that all these criteria will pass on a device before it is sold to you. Now, in the case that a device fails a test, it'll be returned back to the seller, and the buyer will get a partial refund on the order for the equivalent value of that device. So let's say you were to order 30 phones, and let's say one of them failed the test, you'd receive the 29 phones and be refunded on the last one. Now we'll jump over to the shop page. On the shop page, we have segmented our listings by the categories: cell phones, tablets, laptops, and then the brands associated with those. So on this front page, you'll automatically open up to the iPhone 15, and then you'll see subsequent models below it. We carry almost every single model on our platform. When you come onto our platform, in order to view what is available to buy, you can actually click on one of these listings and a drop down will come. In the drop down, you'll see all the listings from sellers for that device. And so we did this so that people can quickly come in on our platform and compare what devices are being sold and at what price. Now, when you come on the platform here, you'll see this grade A device, this grade A1 device, which we went through before is flawless, is being sold for $465, and the quantity available is $200. The delivery estimate for this device is 4 to 7 days, and then you can add these devices to your cart. We have tablets that are sold on the platform. So you'll find iPads here, laptops, so MacBooks, wearables, Apple Watches, and all types of other electronics. I'm going to go through just what it would look like for you to check out with the device. So let's say, we have here a iPhone 15 Pro Max. It's 256 gigs, carrier locked, new sealed. This seller is selling it for $800. You can see here that the highest offer, so that what other people on the platform are offering for this device, is $400 for this SKU. But you'll see here that for the white titanium, someone's offered $800. So you always know who you're competing against on the buy side for devices, and then what the sellers are listing for. But let's say, for instance, that I wanted to try and buy this device for $750. I can click this offer button. It'll preload to the criteria that was set on the offer on the listing that I selected. And here I can enter in the price of the device that I'm looking for and the quantity that I'm willing to take. So I put in $750 and a quantity of 100. Now, this is a binding request. So when you make these requests, please keep in mind that you will be expected to pay if a seller accepts your bid. Now, this will go in to the back end of the platform, but it won't only go to the seller that has listed this device. It'll go to all sellers that have listed a carrier locked 256 gig iPhone 15 Pro Max. In the seller dashboard, every seller will be able to see that this bid exists and they'll be able to fulfill the request. So even though you've just submitted an offer request to a listing, all sellers on the platform have the opportunity to fill the request if they have those devices in stock or they're able to source it from an alternative method. So we've designed this system so that people can source the devices they need quickly at the price they need, and giving everyone the information that fulfill those bids. So let's say instead I liked the price of this device. I can go ahead and add these to my cart. So I'll add these to my cart, and then I can go to checkout. This is what you'll see on the checkout page. I have 5 of these devices in my inventory. The total price is $4,000. We do have some special bonuses when you check out. So $50 for orders over 2,500, and then $100 off for any order over $4,000. So this order I would get $100 off, and which I can apply to the listing. So I get a special bonus. I got a savings of about $20 per device at checkout. Okay, so I can proceed to checkout. This is something else that we're offering, where users can insure their devices for instead of 30 days, they can extend it to 90 days. And this is from the point at which you purchase the device. So this is available to everyone on the platform where you can come and add this insurance, but we can always opt to not choose the insurance if we don't feel as if we need it. So we'll continue to the next step. You'll put in your address, and then you're given different options to pay. So I'll go ahead and select um, our warehouse. And then I'm given these three options. So I can pay with a credit card, or I can pay directly with a wire transfer or USTD. Um, we'll go ahead and look at the wire transfer setting here. I'll agree to this. And then I will place the order. So when placing the order, you'll be given the wire instructions for the device. Make sure to follow these special information here so that we can make sure um, that your payment is routed to the correct uh, order. You'll see here that for international wires, so if you're located outside the United States, we have international wire instructions. And this will make it much easier for you. So don't feel as if you need to send domestic wire. You can send an international wire as well. Order number within the memo or special instructions. We also have the ability to pay by card, and so that takes you um, uh, through its own kind of um, way for you to check out. And then when your order is confirmed, the devices will be shipped to you. I'm not going to place this order because I'm on a platform. I'm on the actual platform. I don't want to alert a seller. So if we go back to the shop page, there's some other features that I want to show. We did launch with phone check, and this is allowed for sellers to list devices that they've tested with phone check, and we verify that they're fully functional. This just gives the quality that the devices have been tested. Although we will always do a double check of the devices when they come to our warehouse. Um, it's great for you to know, battery percentages and other information. So on this left panel, if you select phone check, it will automatically show you all the devices posted on the platform that are being sold by phone check. So for instance, this seller has these iPhone 14 Pros, they're selling for $805 and they have been verified by phone check. We have an update coming soon where you'll be able to actually look at when you hover over this icon, you'll be able to see information about the device. So whether it's an OEM device or if it has OEM parts, the battery percentages, the cycle counts on the battery, etc. So this will give you much more transparency into the test results of the device before you even purchase it. So here you'll see different listings of sellers who have posted these devices for sale. So if you want to buy devices that are phone check verified, you can certainly do so here. The next feature that I want to show is our price drop feature. So this shows devices that a seller has posted and that they have now drop the price on. So these are indications of really great deals. You'll see them in several listings where sellers have dropped their devices, the price of a device, and you should snag those before they're all gone. So just showing you some other examples, of devices that are being sold here and the prices they're being sold for. The next I want to go through is our hot deals. So these are listings that have very strong pricing, and that have been hand selected by us. Um, and you can find great deals on this page on a weekly basis coming here, and being able to check out and purchase these devices. Always note that you can submit an offer, even on these devices if you would like. But these devices are always well priced. I think it's a great place to come and look at what's for sale. Um, I think that is it. I'm about at the 30-minute mark, so we can open it up to to Q&A at this point.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much, Josh, for the session. We already had a question. So please, guys, if you have questions, I see someone's raised their hands. Please type the question in the Q&A box. I'd mentioned that at the beginning of the webinar, but just in case you joined us after we'd started the conversation, kindly type in your question using the Q&A feature, just so that we can have it a bit more organized. And I promise to go through all the questions in the box. So we already have one from Hassan Jawad. Hassan has joined us from Dubai. So welcome, Hassan. So Hassan asked, he says he has some queries as a new seller, like how to onboard from Dubai. That's one. And then how can we start trading without shipping to the US? So 2 questions. How to onboard from Dubai as a new seller.
Yep.
Yes. And then the second question, how can we start trading without into the US? Yes.
Yep. That's a great question. So the first one, we have an onboarding rep that'll actually help you get on the platform, make sure that everything's being listed correctly. And so we can arrange for a call with him. And he can walk you through how to get set up. The second question is we actually are working with logistics companies in Dubai. And so you don't need to worry about the logistics. All that you will be required to do is to drop the devices or ship the devices to that logistics company in Dubai, and then we'll take care of everything else from there. The devices may be going into Nigeria or Ukraine or Mexico. So we'll take care of logistics from that point of time, and the only thing that you will be responsible for is just getting the devices to that logistics company. Right now, we are using Union Logistics for the majority of our shipments, and so that's who you would most likely drop the devices off with.
Okay. Thank you, Josh, for that. I see someone else has their hand raised, but no question in the Q&A box. So trying to find out. Okay, this has a question. Okay, so maybe I'd allow us to ask our questions via voice. It might just be a bit more efficient. For that, I need to reclaim host. So give me a second, everyone. Okay. Okay, so Chintak, I'm gonna enable your voice so you can ask your question live. Okay.
I think Chintak said putting a question in.
Oh yes, he has. So
to the MOQ, yeah.
Go ahead, please, Josh.
So Hassan asked, he said, how much is the MOQ for buying from the United States? The MOQ is 5 units. But every seller can place their own MOQ. So if you do not want to ship out as small as 5 devices, you can set it to 10 or 20. But the minimum that we enforce on the platform is 5 devices at a time. Chintalk, his question is, I made an offer, but did not receive a reply. So what we say on the platform is when offers are made, all sellers are able to see those offers. They're sent emails and notifications on the platform itself. So the reason why you may not have received a reply was because the sellers were not interested in that offer. So if you don't receive a reply, I think you should try to revise your price, maybe bring it up a little bit, or increase the quantity of devices that you're willing to buy, as that is an incentive as well. So we've seen that if someone were to offer a lower price than the listing price, but had a high quantity of devices, that those listings are much more likely to match and sell than for you to put a lower offer in, but also a small quantity. So I would try to revise your offer and see if you get any feedback then. So Shintak asked, how do I know that product we are buying are genuine? So this is a great question. I think this is something that buyers in this space struggle with, even when they're purchasing from individuals on WhatsApp or by any other means. We always do testing of the devices. So we receive the devices physically and we do testing on them. So we will physically turn the devices on. We'll run diagnostics on them. So if there are any issues wrong with the device, if they're fake, they'll be returned to the seller at no cost to the buyer. So we always ensure that the devices are genuine, even down to making sure that the devices have been acquired legally and that they are free of any blacklists or financial liens or holds on the devices. So you be sure that as the devices pass through us, we've made sure that they will work properly and that they're genuine. Yes. Chinchok just asked grade wise. I guess how would he be sure that the grades um, are correct? So we also do the inspection of grading as well when testing for diagnostics of the phone, just to make sure that the grades align with our grading criteria. So if you so the five or the seven different grades that we have on the platform, we make sure that they match. If the devices do not match grade wise, we return back to the seller. Hassan has asked, how is the shipping calculated depending on the origin and destination? If we buy and sell from and to Dubai, will there be for cross-border or export? So I'll start with the first one. So the shipping is calculated using FedEx or UPS, depending on where you're shipping or where the devices are going to. For a seller, you will pay shipping costs to us. So the seller is responsible for paying all shipping fees that are required to get the devices to us, whether that's in Dubai or the United States, and whatever is easier. That's what the seller is responsible for. The buyer is then responsible for shipping from that place of origin, from wherever we inspect the devices to themselves. So if we have a seller based in Dubai, it will ship to a freight forwarder, a logistics company in Dubai, and the buyer will pay for shipping from Dubai to themselves. Um, and then Hassan asked if we buy and sell from and to Dubai, will there be shipping costs for cross border or export? So this depends whether you're in the free zone or not and where the devices exist. So if the devices are within the free zone, you will pay no shipping, you'll pay no export. You'll simply just pick the devices up from a logistics company. But if you are receiving the devices outside the free zone or the devices are existing outside the free zone, then you may have to pay um, fees and export fees on those devices. Chintok asked, "How do I break on deal?" Chintok, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Could you explain a little further? Okay, we have about 5 minutes left in the session. So Chintok said like getting deals. So we constantly push deals out. Every day, you'll see deals that are being posted on the platform. Um, but it's up to you also to come on the platform and check and see what's available. Um, I think one thing that makes this very easy for you to do is as a buyer, you can go into your buyer dashboard and actually set up preferences of devices that you want to buy. So let's say, for instance, you are interested in buying an iPhone 15. We will notify you whenever a iPhone 15 is posted. If it's a price shop with an iPhone 15, you get a notification. So that is probably the best way to do it. That if you need a device, you can post offers on that device. But then also, if you're waiting for new requests to come in, you can set your preferences so you receive notifications. And when the devices are posted and when they're available or when there's a price drop, you'll get notified and you can quickly go and purchase those deals.
Okay, thank you, Josh, for taking our questions. I think we have the opportunity for maybe one or two more questions as we have 4 minutes left. Oh, great. We have one from Hassan.
Okay, we have one more question from Hassan. Okay, so Hassan asks, how do we make sure the price of the items you buy are at real market price worldwide? So we're a platform where we are showing you as much transparent data as possible. Now, on our platform, we're pulling in as much data from the real world, but the price that we're showing on the platform is the prices that we're seeing that the devices are being sold. So there may be differences in the price of what's on our platform versus what is off. But this is our platform it follows a trend in the industry where pricing are very similar, if not lower than real market price worldwide. We do charge. Hassan also asked, do you charge a fee on the platform? If so, how much is that and how is it treated? So we do charge a fee on the platform. Our fee varies on the type of device that is being sold, so it can range anywhere from 2 to 10%, based off of the device and how much it costs. And then Chintak asked also, for example, how do I know a MacBook Pro model year? So in the title, Chintak, when you go to the MacBook Pro page, the year will be within that title. Okay, I think that should about do it.
Yes, that does it. That does it. Thank you so much, Josh, for the session. Thank you, everyone. I was typing in the chat that we're about to end the session. However, the conversation doesn't end here. Please send us an email, support@easywholesale.com. I'm typing it in the chat right now. We could take any questions at any time, 24/7. A question comes up in mind, feel free to shoot us an email and we would be sure to answer you your question within 24 hours or less, most likely less. So please feel free to send your questions. I have just dropped the email address in the chat to support@easywholesale.com. And there's always someone at the end of that line. It was a really engaging, session. Thank you to our attendees for coming. We're going to be having these webinars.
Thank you guys.
Yes, we're going to be having it regularly. So please watch your emails for invites. There's going to be a lot of conversations. We're going to bring on partners, new features. We're going to take, feedback. There's going to be all kinds of engaging conversations on these webinar series going forward. So we look forward to having you in subsequent ones as well. So.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for the time. Really appreciate it. And happy holidays.
Yes. Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you. Bye for now.
All right.